The other topic that I read about all week was this father. He gets on TikTok and Instagram. I saw it on both platforms where his daughter was being bullied. So then he beat up the bully's dad because the school and nobody else was doing anything about it. And I was like, the big thing was he right? Was he wrong? Let me get the right. It was like a 7-year-old, I think. Father bully beat up dad viral. Okay. Woo. Dad goes viral after a minute. He jumped the father of his daughter's alleged video. Dad is going viral on social media after sharing how he responded to his daughter's alleged bully. KAVI, as he's listed on TikTok, explained there were multiple attempts on his behalf to end the bullying. After the bullying continued, he put his paws on the bully's dad to teach his daughter a lesson about consequences. Kavi said he tapped his brothers to help with the beatdown. This is a quote. To the 7-year-old girl who had to watch me and my brothers jump her daddy at school, I'm sorry. I know that was probably a traumatizing experience for you, but we kept asking you to stop bullying my daughter and you wouldn't listen, the dad said in his viral TikTok video. As the 30-second video continued, Kavi shared that he tried to end the bullying in other ways before resorting to a fight. He allegedly sent letters home and had a meeting with the girl and her parents. Still, the child allegedly wouldn't listen. So now you know your actions have consequences. And since you're too young to receive those consequences, you had to watch your daddy take those consequences. Get some therapy. You'll be all right. I'm like, in just 19 hours, the TikTok video pulled in nearly 12 million views and more than 28,000 comments on the platform. Mixture of approval and disapproval, relatable stories, and people kikiing over the incident and KV's explanation of it. Some of the comments are funny, actually. One guy wrote, I approve that. 15 years ago, I went to the father and called him out in front of his son. One-on-one, though, but he stepped down and apologized. I told him, I ain't playing to leave my 6-year-old boy alone. He stopped. Another person disagreed. I have 5 kids, and if they got bullied, I made sure that they handle theirs. Parents don't need to be getting involved. Yes, speak to the school, but make sure your kids do what they got to do. My dad used to drag me to whoever was bullying me's house and tell the parents either we fight in the yard or your kids and tell me I thought you're sleeping in the garage for a week. Yeah. Man, I don't know. I don't know where I stand on this. I think I would have to confront the parents. And confront sounds like a very aggressive word. I think I would be definitely addressing the parents, and we can go from there. And here's the thing. We always think that in the movies and in this video, we think we're going to go to the bully's parents and beat their ass to prove a point. You always got to think of the other side of things. What if you go and get your ass whooped? So then you got your daughter getting beat up, getting bullied, and she saw her dad get beat up. So now you're dealing with PTSD on a whole nother level with your own family. You better know you're going to win that fight when you go there. And it sounds like this guy who's a big dude, the KAVI guy, he's a big dude, but big don't mean you can fight. We've seen that. But he got his brothers to help him. So I was like, he was making sure he wasn't losing this fight. But you don't do it in front of the kids, for one. I don't know where I stand on this. I see both sides. I don't know what was the conversation like with the dad. Was it civil, or did he come in aggressive? It's all about how you deliver the message. It's to have a 7-year-old and have a dad come over with a 7-year-old. Like, I'm thinking when I grew up, there was a guy that lived next door to me in the trailer park, and I don't know, man. I remember we were always fighting at the bus stop. It was one of them things. It was just building over nothing. Probably who's a better wrestler, Hulk Hogan or Jimmy Superfly Snuka, something like that. And I remember this guy just one day we was walking over the bus stop and I just was bagging on him. And he went, kabam! And cold cocked me, black eye, dotted me. And I remember it was cold out, so it stung a little bit. I was like, ah! I had these big old gloves on, and he just hit me and ran. And it was like on a Friday, so I couldn't get to him. But he lives right next door to me. So it ended up, I was staking out that trailer. And when he finally came out, I finally jumped him, like right on his front porch. And then, I hit him a couple times, but really I was holding him down, just talking smack to him and stuff. So anyways, what happened was his dad or stepdad came over to our trailer that night afterwards and was like, hey, we got to stop this. We're neighbors and stuff like that. And me and the guy ended up being pretty cool after that. But it was just, it's not a big deal. I think any fights that happen before the age of like 11, they're not really fights. I mean, this is bullying. It's one thing. But the bigger issue is, did they go to school? Did they try to get the girls in different classes? Did they just sit the girls down and talk to them? Because it seems like every fight I had in elementary school, I ended up being friends with the people after the fight. When you sit down in the principal's office or the teacher sits you down, what's going on? Because normally this stuff's happening at recess. And it wasn't a lot, but probably three or four times I remember in elementary school, like having like fights at recess or in the hallway. And at the end, I never saw anybody get hurt. Nobody ever got hurt in elementary school off a fight. It's just a bunch of people it's all these punches being thrown and then nobody's got any marks on them. It's the weirdest thing. So I don't know how I feel about this. What I do know, his daughter's going to look at him like he's the greatest dad ever. He's the savior. But yeah, the bully is going to be messed up for a while. I can't imagine watching your dad just get beat up as a little kid, like 7 years old, because you don't really have a memory till you're 4. But then I can't imagine what that's going to do to that little kid. Like that dad fucked that bully up a little bit in the head. And I don't know if the bully needed it or what the upbringing's like. And sometimes you got to realize these bullies, we don't know what their home life is. There's not too many kids that are just from good homes. It's all loving. It's all happy. That go to school and want to bully other people or go to school and want to just start shit. Usually those kids are going through some shit at their house. So let's try to keep that in mind as you're talking about beating up a 7-year-old's dad. Maybe that dad deserved that ass whooping, but not in front of the 7-year-old. So the fight I'm indifferent about, definitely not in front of the kids at the school. Did other kids see it? So he was wrong in that. But it's also your daughter. As a guy, he's got a daughter. That male ego, I don't know. You just can't imagine anybody do anything to your daughter. You just want to scorch the earth when something like that happens. So I understand that also. So I'm indifferent, man. I really said a lot of nothing about this whole incident. Yeah, I see that, but I see this. But I see that, but I see this. So I'll just say, definitely was wrong to do it in front of the kids. I don't know what the conversation was before it led to the fight, but the fact that he grabbed his brothers, I was like, oh, he was making sure this is going to happen. Did he blindside the guy? Did he come up from behind him? Did they talk shit first, back and forth? One thing, I'm like, this dad and the daughter can't go to our school no more. You can't risk that. I don't want that guy in any school district I'm in. Good Lord. And what's the level of bullying? Like, where do you put a stamp on it? Like, that's enough bullying. They called my little girl fat, or they said she was ugly. Is that the bullying, or was there physical abuse, or what was it?